Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Scoltock and welcome to this week's angel reading. And every Monday I'm pulling out a few cards for you so that you can know what it is that the angels want you to know for the week ahead, the guidance, some insights to the energy, and just to give you some healing. The angels will bring through whatever you most need. So I can see already there's a few of you jumping on. Hi Michelle, hi Megan, hey Tyler. And I've got two decks of cards today. I've got the lovely Kyle Gray deck, the Angels and Ancestors cards, which I'm just madly in love with right now. And I've also got, these ones are the Power Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine, which I've been using for a long time in my one-on-one readings and my client sessions. And I also use them for myself a lot because they're very detailed and clear. So let's get started. And I'll pull you some cards, and then we're going to talk about some of what the angels want you to know this week. So hands up if you've been feeling some real intense energy over the last 4 days. Since about Friday, we've had some really intense energies that have been making some people feel headachy. I know I've been a bit headachy. I've been a bit wanting to stay quiet. I've been feeling super sensitive. I've been really wanting to replenish and recharge my energies, and I can feel that it's happening for a lot of people, not only because it's not some kind of horrible cosmic punishment, but I really think this massive shift that we're going through is helping us to really make clear decisions. And the word that comes through for you is take responsibility. It's taking responsibility for your own personal journey. Hi everybody who's coming on. Leah, Vicky, Tale, how are you? Yeah, you've been feeling super sensitive too. So this super sensitivity isn't just, torture. It's helping us to really get in touch with our own energy. And it's really interesting to me that recently how many people are talking about how empathic they are and how sensitive they are, and how they're becoming more sensitive and being more sensitive to foods and other people's emotions, and really deeply feeling the emotions when they watch television, maybe on the news or the movie that they're watching. And have you ever stopped to wonder why there's this massive wave of clairsentience? It's an intuitive channel, your sensitivity. It's called clairsentience, which is clear feeling, clear sensitivity, clear empathy. And it's a way of being able to know what's good for you and what's not good for you in your life, who to avoid, who to hang out with. It teaches you, what foods to eat, where to go, what feels good to you. But it's not meant to be based on fear. So it's not meant to be like, oh my God, I've got to avoid all of this stuff because, these people are so negative. It's supposed to teach us to harness our own energy and get really in touch with our own intuition and to take our power back. And that really matches what the theme for this week's reading is all about taking responsibility, which means taking back our power and no longer projecting our fear outwards, which means that we're no longer blaming the external circumstances, the past, how people have treated us, how people are treating us. Even though, it doesn't mean that we don't learn to be discerning about who we're with, and we're not supposed to put up with abuse. We're supposed to have really strong boundaries. Sometimes when people are crossing your boundaries all the time, it's a sign that you need to start to put stronger boundaries up, as well as maybe you need to change the people you're hanging out with or you're attracting. But it's always coming back to, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to heal this? What can I do to help myself to feel better? Rather than feeling like we're constantly being attacked, because that's the ego at work. Whenever you feel that way, it's the ego, because the ego wants to separate us. The ego wants us to feel alone, isolated, disconnected from God and the angels, and disconnected from our support system. Hey everybody, there's so many people online. Lucy and Wendy and Ryan. Yes, Ryan, I'm getting to the reading. I'm also giving you a little bit of insight as to what the angels are talking about this week. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. This is a group reading. This is for everybody who's going to see this video. Often there's 600 or 700 people watch this video every Monday. And so this is a group reading for your week ahead. This isn't about me doing individual readings. If you'd like an individual reading, you can hop onto my website and make a booking, and I will certainly do that for you. So let's see what the angels have to say this week. Ooh. So I always trust when a card or 2 jumps out, they're jumping cards, that's the angels getting a message across. And we're starting with the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Interesting. So I've been told to pull 3 cards out, and I'm going to dive down and get the one that jumps out. Okay, so isn't that wonderful that the card that jumped out is Archangel Michael? So whenever you're feeling really stressed, or you're feeling intimidated in any way, or you're feeling like there's energies that are getting to you, then the first port of call is to call on Archangel Michael. And this card is the King of Michael. Look how battered it is. This is how old this deck is. I use them every day. And this is about recognizing that you have the power within you and around you in the form of angels to feel protected and safe at all times. So remember that anytime that you feel threatened, you can call on Archangel Michael, because he's the angel of power, protection. He carries such immense light that light is used as a protection. It's like a buffer around you, and no darkness can come in. Now, Archangel Michael also is talking to me about reminding you that Archangel Michael and other angels can clear your energy. So if you're feeling stressed, depressed, anxious, that maybe you need to call on Archangel Michael to pull out energies that have been sitting over your heart and sitting in your mind, thoughts, feelings, emotions that might not even be yours. You might have absorbed them from the people that you've been hanging out with. You might even have tuned into the energy of anxiety and fear, which is bringing you down. It's really important to be conscious of that, and not to blame other people, but to recognize what's going on and to take your power back and ask for that energy to be cleared and released. And Archangel Michael can sever the cords of attachment and fear between you and others. So Archangel Michael is my go-to archangel, and that's the one that I work with every day in my healing room, to remove the cords, the energies, the fears, the entities, the earthbound spirits, the fear energy that gets all tangled up in your own fine, clear auric field. When those energies get caught up with you, it's hard for you to separate yourself from fear. And so then you start to believe in fear, and that belief starts to drag you down and to make you feel toxic, makes you start to think on that frequency, on that level. So this card is asking you to step back from any situation in which you feel stressed or anxious, depressed, and to ask Archangel Michael to be with you, and then engage your own inner wisdom. Look at things with a sense of objectivity rather than through the spectacles of fear. So when you're objective, you come back into your front brain. You come back into the energy. You know, when you meditate, you're in your front brain. You're in that energy of bliss, solutions, connection to divine source. When you're in anxiety, fear, trauma, panic, past problems, you go into your back brain, which is all about the reptilian brain, the reaction, looking for problems, looking for danger, feeling threatened. And your stress hormones start to rush. When you're in that state, you can't be objective. You're always looking at it through the spectacles of fear. So Archangel Michael's reminding you to come back to center and to come back to peace. And once you're in that state, then you can make the decision that you need to make for your life. I'm loving this. Archangel Michael has also turned up in another card for you today. Now I love this. This is a major arcana card. When major arcana cards turn up in a tarot reading, it's all about being really clear that you're at a crossroads in your life, that this is it's like an underlined bold text message for you that the angels and God really want you to know. So look, it's Archangel Michael again, carrying his sword. So he's reminding us that he not only protects you and your home and your loved ones, your finances, but he also protects the world. That's part of his job description. Now, remember, when you call on an archangel, someone once asked me, is it bad to call on archangels? Like, as if it's it's some kind of problem for the archangels. Archangels are multi-dimensional energetic beings. They're not made of physical form. So they can be with more than one person at the same time. They are an energy. There's another benefit from calling on archangels, and that is that when you call on them, you're actually drawing in the energy that they represent. So you're bringing more of that energy to the world. So how can that be wrong? It's not selfish. It's actually a good thing. So even if you're calling on them just for yourself, and it's great to call on them for other people too, you're actually bringing that vibration of high frequency, love, protection, clarity into the planet as well. So don't forget that they're pockets of intense energy. So this card is about happy endings. It's about coming to that place in life where you realize, hang on, I've completed that phase and I'm going on to another phase. So this is the time for you to be tying off loose ends, to be looking at finishing projects that have been hanging around. Maybe you've got to get your tax done. Maybe you've got to finish clearing out the garage. Maybe you're actually at an end in a relationship or a job or some other life area, and it is time for you to move on. Now, sometimes you can't move on until you've completed, so that's very clear. But you've got to gain the lessons and the spiritual growth that come from everything that you've learned before you move forward, because that's going to feed you the wisdom to go to where you're going next. So know that you're not just doing this by yourself. When the world turns up, sometimes it's something that's happening on a mass consciousness level as well. Hey everybody, I can see more names I recognize popping up. So let's look at the second card that came out for you, another major arcana card for this week. So the world is in the position of present situation. This is what we're dealing with right now. This is what the theme is of the reading. The second card is the moon. How is the moon influencing us? Now this card is the guidance for you. So the moon helps us to go within. It helps us to recognize what emotions are influencing us right now, what unhealed elements. Maybe there's some forgiveness for you to do. Maybe you've got to clear out the cupboards inside, you know, the resentment, the fear, anything that you've been holding on to that isn't serving your highest good right now, you need to take a look at and lovingly release to the angels. Now this angel, archangel, is Archangel Haniel. And Archangel Haniel is the angel of the moon. Coincidentally, Archangel Haniel is also the angel of clairvoyance, of being able to see with your mind's eye, or even to see angels and divine beings, your guidance with your physical eyes. So calling on Archangel Haniel will help you to have the vision for you to see what is inside of you that needs to be cleared. So just 10 minutes of meditation with that intention will really help you to get clear. I'm saying coincidence because not only is it the new moon, but also I'm writing a newsletter this week, an article about how to see, how to be more clairvoyant. So I love that she's turned up in our reading today. So think about this week as not being such an urgent time of having to like jump on the bus and you know, get on to the next project and finish off those projects and finish off those things that you need to tie off. Say goodbye to those old relationships that seem to be still hanging on with threads, and those old regrets and anything else that might be holding on. But this is more of a time of contemplation and gaining the wisdom and the intuition so that you can move forward. It's a chance for you to really investigate about what it is you want to bring with you into the next stage. And this is the outcome card. So we go present situation, guidance, and this is the outcome if you follow the guidance. The Knight of Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, has appeared for us this week. And this, look at the juxtapositioning of this. We've gone from contemplation to movement. She's on her horse and she's galloping across the desert. She's on her way to where it is that she needs to go. So you will start to feel like you can take action. You'll start to recognize the direction that you want to go in instead of going around in circles and trying to make things better. It's an instinct, it's intuition, and it's passion all combined. So if you've been feeling a little bit passionless or a bit joyless or a little bit like, what's my direction? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Then this is the guidance for you. You've got to get in touch with your intuition, with your inner self. What's going on in there? Is it a storm? Is it messy? Is there a load of clutter? you've got to clear all that out and be able to come back to peace, come back to feeling peace. And you don't have to be psychic to have clarity about what's going on inside of you. You have to trust your emotions, your feelings. You know what's going on inside of you because you know the thoughts that you're thinking. So the thoughts that you're thinking will tell you everything. You don't need to have anybody really tell you, but you need to sort through those thoughts and get in touch with the beliefs that are feeding them, and then decide what it is that you need to go. And the strongest message I'm getting for you right now is the message of forgiveness and freedom. So, you know, in A Course in Miracles, it says that there's no form of unhappiness or illness that hasn't got unforgiveness behind it, hasn't got resentment behind it. So if you're feeling like your life is off track at the moment, or you're feeling like you're not happy, there's something bothering you, look at what and who you need to forgive and release resentment about. And forgiveness definitely doesn't mean it's okay what that person did. It definitely doesn't mean that. I've forgiven people in my life that will never be in my life again. And that's discernment. That's the honest truth. Like, it's releasing my need to hold on to the bitterness, anger, resentment, hurt, powerlessness about what they did, and then being able to say, you know, that person is a divine soul, a divine being. I need to let them go, and I need to empty my heart of the resentment so that then I can move on and my life can start to rise up. If you're holding on to resentment, it's like having heavy anchors pulling you down and always pulling you into the lower vibrations all the time. So I did say I was going to pull you one more card from the Angels and Ancestors deck. My current favorite. Ooh, mountains. I think we got this one last week. I have a funny feeling. Because I channel, I sometimes don't remember